The top stories of the night: Philippine delegates in Tokyo 2020 Olympics secures 4 medals for the country. NCR plays under the ECQ starting August 6. President Duterte approves cash assistance for the affected families of the ECQ. The Congress were seeking a congressional probe on the OCTA research group study. Quezon City Local Government Unit will place 26 areas for 2 weeks special concern lockdown. Good evening, my name is Alvin Pelabello and this is Eurotv News. Philippine delegates in Tokyo 2020 Olympics had made history for the country after getting 4 medals, including the first ever gold medal. But before we head on that story, here's the latest happenings in the country. Starting August 6, Friday, the National Capital Region will place again under the enhanced community quarantine amid the surge of the COVID-19 infections. A more stricter quarantine measures will end up until August 26, as the initial recommendation of the Interagency Task Force on Emerging Infectious Diseases. Public transportation remains for the essential workers. Days before, the Department of the Interior and Local Government, along with the Philippine National Police, installed checkpoints in different borders of the NCR Plus areas. Quarantine pass will be in effect in different areas under the ECQ. President Rodrigo Duterte has approved financial assistance funds for the qualified beneficiaries of the National Capital Region. The cash aids worth from 1,000 pesos for every individual and a maximum of 4,000 pesos per family, after placing the Capital Region for 2 weeks of the enhanced community quarantine. According to the Department of Budget and Management and the National Economic Development Authority, there are more than 13 million population listed in Metro Manila, and more than 80% of this, or more than 10.8 million individuals, will receive the cash assistance. Recently, Interior Secretary Eduardo Año said that they don't have yet a final decision when the cash assistance will be distributed to the affected families. But Año insisted the formula of distribution would remain the same as what the cash assistance distributions has been made on April and May. Philippine Congress has issued a House resolution that seeks to conduct an inquiry for the data that shows a surge of COVID-19 cases reported by the independent OCTA research group. Here's the report from Vanessa Cleofas.
The House of Representatives were seeking conduct an inquiry on the qualification of the OCTA research methodologies, partnership, and composition to prove studies saying that a surge of COVID-19 cases is already happening over the National Capital Region. In a House Resolution number 2075, the House Committee on the Government to conduct an inquiry in aid of legislation to the independent COVID-19 research group OCTA, wherein numerous media outlets have cited warnings about the surge of COVID-19 infections and the latest circuit breaker or the hard lockdown this August. Meanwhile, the Health Department had acknowledged the COVID-19 cases are rising in the metro, but said that there is still no definitive evidence of a surge that the OCTA research said. On Friday, July 6, the NCR will be placed again under the enhanced community quarantine as a response to the increase of cases. Also stated in a resolution, the projections of the OCTA research may be based on incomplete and erroneous data, saying that DOH had controls the release of COVID-19 data every day. However, fellow OCTA research said that this time of pandemic, cooperation is a need, and adding they're not the enemy, but the virus that continues to bring risk in the country. This is Vanessa Cleofas for Eurotv News.
The Department of Health were seeking for a more higher community quarantine as preemptive measures against the most contagious Delta variant. Jasmine Cruz with the details.
As part of the primitive measures of the government amid the surge of Delta variant, the Department of Health were seeking for more stricter community protocols after recording an increase in COVID-19 cases in the country. According to Health Secretary Maria Rosario Vergere, in all areas showing an increased cases should be immediately addressed. Observe case increase, closely monitor healthcare utilization, and considering the implementation of a higher community quarantine as primitive measures to contain the Delta variant spread. As of August 2, based on the data of Department of Health, Metro Manila has registered the most number of new cases at more than 2,000, followed by the Calabarzon, Central Visayas, Central Luzon, and Western Visayas. Among these regions, cities that are the top contributors of the new COVID-19 cases in the country were Cavite, Laguna, Quezon City, Bulacan, Cebu City, and Bohol. Vergere says of these 21 areas were flagged due to moderate high-risk case classification. 11 of these areas had Delta variant carriers. From 17 cities in the metro, 9 has Delta variant: Malabon, Makati, San Juan, Las Piñas, Valenzuela, Pasig, Mandaluyong, Manila, and Caloocan. In today's DOH record, more than 7,300 were the new cases, bringing the number to more than 63,000. Over 7,200 added in a number of recoveries into a total of more than 1.52 million. 90 were the newly recorded fatalities, added into a total of 28,231. This is Jasmine Cruz for Eurotv News.
The local government unit of Quezon City will place 26 areas under special concern lockdown for 2 weeks as they seen an uprising number of COVID-19 cases. Here's the report from Hana Uy.
26 areas in Quezon City will be placed under the special concern lockdown for 2 weeks, as the City Epidemiology and Surveillance Unit has seen an uprising number of confirmed and suspected cases of COVID-19. Quezon City Mayor Joy Belmonte were asking for the understanding of the residents affected by the lockdown. According to Belmonte, this is just a preemptive measures, saying these areas were among densely populated that could be a breeding ground for COVID, and adding that the purpose of lockdown is for a mass testing. Despite of data shown by the Department of Health, the city has no recorded Delta variant case. Belmonte would not be surprised if ever there will be one. Belmonte said the National Capital Region is probed to a highly transmissible variant as the center of activities. This is Hana Uy for Eurotv News.
More than 3 million doses of Moderna vaccines that was donated by the United States arrived in the Philippines on Tuesday. It was President Rodrigo Duterte who personally received vials of vaccines in Villamor Air Base in Pasay City and workers through COVAX facility. In a statement of the arrival of vaccines, Duterte expressed his gratitude to the United States and adding they will entice Filipino indigents and those who are not willing to be vaccinated. Also present in the vaccine arrival were cabinet members, U.S. Charge d'Affaires, and World Health Organizations. Delivery of Moderna vaccines came after the courtesy call of U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin III last Thursday. The Philippine government had administered more than 20.8 million COVID-19 vaccines under the country's vaccination rollout. Out of this number, more than 11.7 million Filipinos had received the first dose of vaccines, while over 9.1 million are fully vaccinated. National Task Force Against COVID-19 had recorded a daily average of more than 520,000 doses of vaccines administered in the last 7 days, and more than 1,400 average number were reporting actively in different vaccination sites. In the 22nd week since the vaccination rollout started, our national vaccination has reached more than 3.6 million doses per week. The unemployment rate for the month of June 2021 remains at 7.7%, same as listed for the month of May, the Philippine Statistics Authority says after it conducted a monthly labor force survey. Warren de Guzman reports.
The Philippine Statistics Authority has recorded 7.7% unemployment rate in June 2021. the same on the data reported on the month of May. In a press statement issued by the PSA Labor Force Survey this Tuesday, the labor force participation rate or LFPR in June 2021 was registered as 65%. This about more than 48.8 million Filipinos, 15 years over, were either employed or unemployed. Data compared from the previous months were higher than the LFPR reported in May with 64.6%, April 63.2%, February 63.5%, and January 60.5% of the same year. Underemployment rate went up to 14.2% in June 2021 from the estimated 12.3% in the previous month. With this, an increase of 918,000 underemployed persons from 5.49 million in May to 6.41 million in June 2021. Men had more LFPR in June with 76.3% than 53.7% of women. According to Labor Secretary Silvestre Bello III, the imposition of ECQ in Metro Manila will surely affect successive survey rounds. Bello added that they are hoping to mitigate its adverse impact in our labor market and the economy if the government agencies are collaborating and Filipino will follow the quarantine measures and protocols. In a joint statement of the DUTERTE administration's economic managers, government's priority is to contain the spread of the contagious Delta variant of COVID-19, reimposing the ECQ. With the government's fastest vaccination drive and government's efforts to generate and preserve jobs while supporting existing and emerging business, the safety of all Filipinos and the full reopening of the economy strongly depends on everyone's cooperation. This is Warren D. Guzman for Eurotv News.
As tribute to his service and contribution to the country, Philippine Postal Corporation has launched a commemorative stamp featuring the late President Benigno Pinoy Aquino III. Here's Hannah DeCelis for the details.
A commemorative stamp featuring the late President Benigno Pinoy Aquino III has been launched by the Philippine Postal Corporation as tribute to his incumbency serving as a leader of the country. These stamps are fitting tribute to his service and contribution to the country, the PHILPOST said. According to PHILPOST Postmaster General Norman Fulgencio, through these stamps, we will remember the love and Pinoy's concern to the country. Presidential Communications Secretary Martin Andanar said that Pinoy stamp is a celebration of Aquino's legacy of a public service. The Aquino sisters were not able to attend the event, but Maria Elena Balsi Aquino Cruz, Aquino sisters, expressed her gratitude to the post office for recognizing his brother's services and contribution to the country. President Aquino died last June 24 due to renal disease secondary to diabetes. He is the 5th President of the Republic of the Philippines and served from 2010 to 2016.
This is Hannah DeCelis for Eurotv News.
A Congressional Medal of Excellence will confer to the Olympic gold medalist HIDILYN DIAZ as the House of Representatives has adopted a resolution recognizing her performance with the historic win in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. On Monday's session, lower chamber has adopted House Resolution number 1981, which proposes the institutionalization of the Congressional Medal of Excellence for national athletes who will win the gold medals at the Olympic Games. During the session, the lower chamber has also approved House Resolution number 2041 honoring Diaz for clinching the nation's first ever Olympic gold medal. Along with her historic win in the Olympic, Diaz will be the first ever recipient of the Congressional Medal of Excellence. Philippine delegates in 2020 Tokyo Olympics has made history. 4 medals were secured for the Philippines. This includes 1 gold, a silver medal, and 2 secure bronze medals. Let's hear more of this report from Pam Magikay.
For the first time in history, the Philippine delegates in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics can bring home 4 medals for the country. It was weightlifter HIDILYN DIAZ who first won the first ever gold medal for the Philippines in the Olympics. A 30-year-old DIAZ defeated the world champion Liao QAULIFIED of China in the women's 55-kilogram weightlifting category. Another history maker, female boxer Nesty Petesio, became the first ever female silver medalist in the Olympic. Petesio had a chance to win the second gold for the Philippines, but somehow fails to a silver medal after being defeated by Japanese Sena Irie in a gold medal match. In an interview, Petesio humbly accepts her defeat and instead being positive while still on the quest for the gold. Another two Filipino boxers, namely Yumir Marshall and Carlo Paalam, secures the bronze medal as they will battle for the semi-final match. Another silver medal and gold medal are still on the track for these Filipino boxers. The Philippines ranked number 44 in the medal tally in 2020 Tokyo Olympics. The Summer Olympics will run from July 26 until August 8. This is Pamagikay for Eurotv News.
And that has been the stories of the night, news stories you need to know. You can always check out our social media accounts for the latest happenings here and all over the globe. Thank you for joining me. My name is Alvin Pelabello and this is Eurotv News.